Everything is expensive, and the news says the world is ending, but the stock market just hit another all-time high in May. Now sending Arshadale. If you have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for a sign, this is your wake-up call, because opportunities like this do not wait for your permission. I am Arsha, years old, and I have built a portfolio worth $10,000 by doing the exact opposite of what most people tell you to do. I am not some finance professor in a suit, and I am not here to sell you a Jojo $T course on some magic crypto coin that is going to zero. I am the guy who lived without a sofa in my apartment for a whole year and drove a beat-up Liaocenny sedan, just so I could dump every spare cent into the market. I am the hard worker who graduated in Liaocenny Xian. The world was literally falling apart and realized that nobody is coming to save my bank account. Today we are going over the top 7 investing mistakes that keep you broke while the rich get richer, and I am going to be blunt about it. Mistake number 1 is the biggest trap, and that is not even investing at all because you are scared of losing a few bucks. I get it, because keeping your money in a bank account feels safe, like a warm blanket on a cold night. But listen to me closely, because cash is not a safe haven. It is a melting ice cube sitting under a hot yuan. Inflation right now is still eating your purchasing power at a rate that would make a professional thief blush. According to the Federal Reserve, the dollar has lost half of its value since I was born, and that is a terrifying statistic. If your money is sitting in a basic savings account, earning 0.01% interest, you are actually losing money every single day. It is like trying to go up a down escalator while carrying heavy luggage. You are not standing still. You are falling behind fast. You are going to end up as a bag lady or a bag man in your old age if you do not wake up and realize that cash is trash for long-term wealth. The stock market is a bloodbath sometimes, and it can be ugly to look at your app, but at least it gives you a fighting chance to beat the cost of living. Pull the trigger and stop making excuses about the economy, because the perfect time to start was 10 years ago, and the second best time is right now. Mistake number 2 is trying to run before you can walk by not having a real emergency fund set aside. Life is going to hit you in the face with a car repair or a medical bill or a sudden layoff, because that is just how the world works. If you have all your money in the market and you have zero cash in the bank, you will be forced to sell your stocks at the worst possible time. I remember back in Xian, my dad lost his job after the terrorist attacks, and my parents had no emergency fund at all. They had to drain my sister and my college fund when the market was at its lowest point just to pay the mortgage. That is a mistake you can never take back, because you lose the money and you lose the decades of compound interest that should have followed. Build a starter fund of at least $1,000 and then move toward covering 3 to 6 months of your actual living expenses. Treat your investments like a one-way street where money goes in to grow, but it never comes out just to pay for a flat tire. Mistake number 3 is waiting for the perfect time to enter the market or trying to time the absolute bottom. You are looking for the bottom of the crash like it is some legendary treasure, but let me tell you a secret: nobody knows where it is. Hindsight is 20/20, but your bank account is 0/0. If you stay on the sidelines waiting for the perfect headline, if you wait for the news to be good, the prices will already be high, because the market prices in optimism way faster than you can click the buy button. I do not care if you think a recession is coming or a war is starting or if the moon is falling out of the sky. If you are a long-term investor, trying to time the market is a fool's errand that will leave you with a portfolio of regrets and missed gains. If your financial situation is stable, set a date and just start, because being in the market beats timing the market every single year. Mistake number 4 is investing too much money at once when you are a complete rookie with zero skin in the game. Watching a $100 investment drop to $80 is a little sting, but watching $100,000 drop to $80,000 will make you vomit. If you are brand new, do not dump your entire life savings in on a Monday morning just because you watched a YouTube video. Start small to train your nerves and get used to the natural volatility of the SP Woodinian and how it moves. I want you to be able to sleep at night without checking your phone every 5 minutes like a gambling addict at a slot machine. Once you realize that a 10% drop is just a seasonal sale on your favorite stocks, then you can start ramping up the volume. Panic selling is the ultimate sin of investing, and it usually happens because people get in over their heads before they are emotionally ready. Mistake number 5 is the one that really hurts your future self, and that is simply not investing enough money to matter. Investing $50 a month is a great start for a teenager, but it is not going to fund a $67,000 a year lifestyle in retirement. The 4% rule says you need a nest egg of about $1.7 million to live comfortably, without running out of cash before you die. If you want to hit that $1 million mark in 15 years, you need to be aggressive and invest at least $2,700 a month. If you have 30 years to wait, you can get there with $500 a month, but you have to be consistent. Stop relying on those stupid apps that just invest your spare change from a coffee purchase or a bagel. Roundups are for kids, and we are here to build real wealth that actually changes your family tree for generations. Aim for at least $500 a month as a baseline, and do not settle for anything less if you truly want to be free. Mistake number 6 is ignoring the taxman until it is too late and you get a massive bill in April. Taxes are your single biggest expense in your entire life, and if you are not careful, they will take 40% of your hard-earned gains. If you are using a standard brokerage account for every single trade, you are volunteering to pay more to the government than you have to. Use a Roth IRA or a sitting LK to shield your dividends and your capital gains from the government's greedy hands. In Naunsenning Arshideo, the standard deduction is $16,100, but that does not mean you should ignore tax-advantaged accounts. I see so many people using apps that do not even offer retirement accounts, and they are just throwing money away for no reason. Go to a solid company like Fidelity or Vanguard and open a Roth IRA today, because a 20% tax savings is a 20% head start. Finally, mistake number 7 is not being honest about how much work you actually want to perform on your portfolio. Everyone wants to find the next Tesla or the next NVIDIA, but very few people want to read through 300-page annual reports. If you do not have the time or the interest to analyze individual stocks, just buy a low-cost index fund like VOO or VTI. I spent years picking individual companies and stressing over earnings calls, but lately I have been 90% in index funds. I am busy building this channel and living my life, and I do not want to spend my weekends looking at balance sheets. There is no shame in taking the easy route if the easy route gets you a 10% return with zero effort on your part. Pick a style that fits your actual lifestyle and stick to it instead of chasing the latest trend you saw on a viral TikTok video. The only wrong way to invest is to not invest at all, so stop overcomplicating the process and get your money working. I have made every single one of these mistakes and I have the scars to prove it, so you do not have to repeat them. If you found this helpful and you want more raw truth, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I am dropping real talk on money and investing every single week to make sure we all get ahead together. See you in the next video, and remember to keep your head in the game and your money in the market. Let's talk about the reality of the Naunsenning Arshideo housing market for a second, because it ties directly into why you need to invest more. The median home price is higher than ever, and if you are just saving for a down payment in a high-yield savings account, you are losing. The houses are appreciating faster than your savings account can grow, which means the goalposts are moving away from you every month. I had to realize this early on when I was looking at apartments in the city and realized my rent was going up by 10% every year. My boss wasn't giving me a 10% raise every year, so I had to find that money somewhere else. And that somewhere else was the stock market. You cannot work your way to wealth in this current economy because the math simply does not add up for the average person. You have to own assets that grow while you sleep, and that is exactly what VOO and VTI do for me. When you own the SP Woodinun, you own a piece of Apple and Amazon and Microsoft and all the companies that are actually raising prices on you. It is the only way to get on the right side of the equation where you are the owner and not just the consumer. I remember feeling so behind when I saw my friends buying new cars and going on expensive vacations while I was eating ramen. But now that I am sitting on over $100,000, I can tell you that the sacrifice was worth every single penny. Those same friends are now complaining about inflation and credit card debt, while my portfolio is generating passive income for me. Do not let the fear of a red day on the charts stop you from building a green future for your family. Every time the market drops 5 or 10%, I do not panic. I actually get excited because it means stocks are on sale. Think of it like a grocery store where if the price of steak drops by 20%, you buy more of it. You do not run away screaming. The stock market is the only place where people run out of the store when there is a giant sale going on. I want you to change your mindset and start seeing volatility as your best friend instead of your worst enemy. If you can stay calm when everyone else is losing their minds, you will win this game 99% of the time. It takes a lot of discipline to keep clicking the buy button when the news is telling you that the world is ending next Tuesday. But look at the history of the last 100 years, and you will see that the world keeps turning and the market keeps climbing. We have been through wars and pandemics and depressions, and yet the companies that make up our economy find a way to profit. Betting against the economy is a losing bet in the long run, and I am not in the business of losing money. I am in the business of freedom, and that freedom starts with the very first share you buy. It does not matter if you start with $10 or $10,000. What matters is that you get skin in the game, stop overthinking which fund is slightly better, and just pick a broad market index and start the habit of dollar cost averaging. I set my investments to go out automatically every 2 weeks when my paycheck hits, so I do not even have to think about it. This removes the emotion from the process and ensures that I am buying no matter what the current price is. In the long run, your average price will be just fine, and you will be amazed at how much you can accumulate in just a few years. Consistency is the secret sauce that nobody wants to talk about because it is boring and it requires patience. Everyone wants the overnight success and the moonshot, but real wealth is built slowly and then all at once at the very end. I am only 5 or 6 years into this journey, and I am already seeing the power of compounding starting to take off. The first 100,000 is the hardest, they say, and I can confirm that it felt like an uphill battle for a long time. But once you cross that line, the money starts making enough money to buy more shares without you doing anything. That is the point where work becomes optional, and that is the goal I want for everyone watching this video. Do not let another year go by where you are just a spectator in the greatest wealth creation machine ever invented. Take control of your finances today and tell the taxman and the banks that you are done being their victim. Thanks for sticking around until the end, and I hope this gave you the kick in the pants you needed to get started. I will see you guys in the next video where we dive deep into how to build a portfolio that survives any recession. Stay focused and stay invested. And let's get those gains in Ardenardo.